Hello, my name is Charlotte Harris, and I will be discussing ethical violations and board disciplines for counselors and using the disciplinary database in Ohio. I looked at approximately 15 to 20 cases, and the most common reason for disciplinary actions was a falsification of the number of continuing education units that was declared on the license renewal. Other violations included falsifying records for financial gain, practicing without a license, stealing, and inappropriate or sexual relationships with a client. I read through the list and became pretty sad. As a registered nurse, I understand how valuable our license is and how hard you have to work to obtain it, and to give it up or have to forfeit it or have it taken away through misconduct or unethical behavior would be absolutely devastating. The first theme that I saw that many of the cases I pulled up were against social workers, not so many with counselors. The second theme I saw was that the falsifying of CEUs were all given the opportunity for a hearing and to produce the CEUs, but it was evident that many just simply lied. Unfortunately, the consequence for the majority of the cases was a revoking of the license. One of the more recent cases that I'll point out is that of a counselor who self reported that she entered into a sexual relationship with her current client at the agency where she was employed. The counselor violated Ohio's code 4757 that states that the counselor shall not engage in sexual activities or sexual contact with current clients, whether such contact is consensual or forced. Further down in the code, in Code D, it states that having a sexual relationship with the family members or close personal relationships of the client is also prohibited. She also violated the American Council Associations Code, the ACA, A.5.A, that states that sexual or romantic counselor client interactions or relationships with current clients, their romantic partners, or their family members are prohibited. In this case, the outcome of the board ruling was that the counselor agreed to enter into a consent agreement. The agreement included a suspension of her license for a year and personal counseling twice a month from a board approved mental health practitioner. When thinking about a counselor's mental health and physical well being, the administrative code in the state of Ohio interprets impairment as a consistent, below the acceptable standard of care due to chronic or excessive use or abuse of drugs, alcohol, or other substances, or other physical or mental impairments that impair the ability to practice. If this type of impairment is reported to the state board, they may step in, help with rehabilitative efforts, or suspend or even revoke the counselor's license. The ACA's definition of impairment has to do with the idea of a counselor being burned out or stressed out to the point that the counselor is unable to professionally function and consequently jeopardizes the care that they provide to the clients. To confront this issue, the ACA formed the Task Force on Impaired Counselors in 2003. According to an article I read, it's called Preventing Counselor Impairment, Vulnerability, Wellness, and Resilience. The task force concluded three areas that really needed further examination for improvement. Those areas were dealing with education and prevention of counseling burnout, providing resources, interventions, and treatment for counselors who are impaired, and finally, recognizing the importance of advocacy within the ACA and state and national levels to help address the need to help impaired counselors. The question that I have is, how would a counselor or counselor in training go about expressing their feelings of burnout while attempting to maintain a sense of faithfulness to the career and professionalism?